A very good morning everyone. Today's video is for class 12th Informatics Practices Unit 3, and as you all know that Unit 3 as per the revised syllabus is Introduction to Computers Networks. So here is the topic of computer networks, and the first topic which we are going to cover is website. I hope you all know that what the website is, and you all must be aware about website, and you all must be using website in your day-to-day life. So website is a collection of web pages, those web pages which are generated on a common topic or on a related topic, and they are usually connected together and they combinedly known as a website. Website is a collection of those web pages which is identified by a common domain name. Here are some examples also, like google.com, wikipedia.org, amazon.com, etc., and several more, like your school's website, Wikipedia is there, or you can say any shopping website. So there are a lot more websites. As we understand that website is the collection of web pages, so the next topic is web pages. So web page is the single page which is written in commonly HTML is known as web page. Now as per the website, like if we talk about the parts or types of website, there can be two types of website, static and dynamic, which we are going to study next. So as the web pages can be of two types, static pages and dynamic pages. So generally the static pages are written in HTML. So we, on a general way, we used to say that website or the web pages are commonly written in HTML. So if we want to access a single page, we will access it using the URL of that page. Like for example, google.com/cybersecurity/home.html. So it will go to the server to google.com, then the website cybersecurity, then its page home.html. So that home.html is that web page which we are going to open here. A web page can contain several types of data like text, graphical, or multimedia, or hyperlinks also. So this is all about a web page. So the next topic is home page, which is again a web page, but this is the very first page which is opens when you open a website. So this is the very first page which come across to the user when he or she tries to access the website. So this is the default page which a website represents to you to access the website. Now our next topic is difference between website and web page. As you all can see that there are two columns. The first one is website and the second one is web page. So the website, you have already learned that website is a collection of related web pages. Otherwise web page on the other hand is the single page of that website. The second is website can be accessed by the domain name and web page will be accessed by URL. Next is that it contains different web pages of different specific information, because a website can contain several pages like home, about us, or gallery, or different specific pages related to that particular website. But if we talk about a single web page, that will contain a more specific or that particular topic of that website. Obviously the next topic which covers is that it is the big entity as compared to web page. On the other hand, web page is the smaller one than the website. Next is one more important topic, that if you consider a website, then you can refer it as a book. Like if we combine several related pages together, then it will become a book. If we provide it a common name, then it will become a book. So website is also like that. If we create several web pages in HTML and we combine them and we give it a common domain name, then it will become a website. So website is just like a book. On the other hand, web pages are the pages of that book, are similar to those pages, which is single page of your book. So this is the single page of a website. Examples are there. I have taken your school's website example like rja.com, and if you talk about to access a single web page of your website, then the example or the URL you need to enter in your address bar will be the name of your website like www.rj.com, and then page about us.html. so about us.html will be the page which will get open when you enter this URL. So this is the difference between website and web page. Now the next topic is types of web pages. The first is static web page and the second is dynamic web page. As I have mentioned earlier that website are of two types, static and dynamic. So as the web pages are also two types, static and dynamic. So as the name suggests, static are those as which is fixed. Status is something which is unchangeable, which will remain as it is apart from any kind of change. So static web pages are those web pages which do not change their data based on any geographical location or any user or any time or anything. So they will remain fixed whether you open it in your school or outside the school or outside your country, whether you open it day or night, the data will remain same. So such type of websites are known as static websites or static web pages. Like for example, if we talk about Wikipedia, so if you access Wikipedia sitting at your home, it will on a particular topic like we have access, we want to know about artificial intelligence, so it will open the same page. If you access the similar search or similar page outside your home or in a different country, then again it will show the same page. So it is not going to change as per the geographical location. So that type of web pages are known as static. And if we talk about how we can identify that whether it is a static page, so by looking at them, so we will try to identify their extension. If it is having extension like .html or .html, then it is probably a static web page. Now the next topic, dynamic. As the name suggests, dynamic, which is keep on changing, which is variable. So dynamic web pages are same like that. They will change their data as per the geographical location or as per the user's entry or as per the time as well. Like Facebook, like your weather forecasting apps, they will show different data at different geographical location, different time. Facebook will change their data as per the login entries. It will provide a different interface to a different user and a different interface to other user. So these type of websites are known as dynamic websites, or these type of web pages will be known as dynamic web pages. So if we want to change some data, so here will require some server side scripting. So server side scripting languages are used to write dynamic web pages, which are ASP, JSP and PHP, and so are their extensions. If they are ended with .php, .asp, .jsp, you can identify easily just by looking at their extensions. So this was the difference between static and dynamic web pages. Our next topic is web server. Web server is something which is like your normal server, which we talk about if we are a networking server. We are talking about a networking server. So as in your lab there is a server which used to perform several tasks, like it will allow several clients to share the memory, to share the resources, to share the processor, to serve all the request which is sent by the client. So same in the case of web server. As the name suggests, web server, so this is the server which shares the web pages. So if a client asks for something, then it will respond it in the form of web pages. Here the client will be the browser of a user, and the web server will be that particular computer system where the website is hosted, where all the pages, all the required files are there on that particular system. That particular system is known as web server. So primary function of that web server is to store, deliver and process web pages to the client. and all the publicly website collectively constitute www, because all the websites combinedly create www, World Wide Web. Now the next topic, which is again very important, that is hosting a website. Hosting is something to make your website public. Like if you have created a website, you would not want that website is accessible to you only, that you will be wanting to get it public, so that people can use it, so that people can access that website just by going on the Google. So it will not be possible until you host your website. So hosting is something to make your website publicly accessible. So to host a website, there is a complete process of hosting a website, which is known as web hosting. So I have mentioned few points about the web hosting. Like the first one is, web hosting is a service that allows organizations and individuals to post a website or web page onto internet. As I have said, web hosting is something to make your website public. So it will be public when it is posted on the internet. So it is a process which lets your website to get public by uploading it on the internet, so that other people can access it using the domain name or the URL. How it works is a kind of task, like we need to ask for a space to on the internet or the organization which used to work for hosting. So we need to pay something for you to them to get the space to be hosted, which is known as a domain space or domain we need to hire. And then a particular domain when we get, then we will host our website on that internet. So web hosts are the company that rent out their services and technology to host website or internet. There are several web hosting companies which lets the space of internet to the user, but on the payment basis. So companies used to host their website, host the user's website by having some amount from them. So once the hosting company hosts your website, user can access it by typing its web address in browser. Just by going on the browser and typing the URL of your website, the user will be able to access your website. So once it get done, you will say that your website is hosted. So this is the complete process of hosting a website, which is generally comprising of to find a particular hosting company, web host, which we can say, to pay for the particular domain to them, and then uploading our website to that domain. So this is known as website or hosting. Our next topic is web browser, which is again very important topic. Web browser, I hope you already know. Web browser is that application program by which you get enabled to access the internet. So web browser is a kind of client, you can say, which used to request to the server to get a particular file open on the website, on the internet. Like if you want to access Wikipedia or you want to access your school website, you need to go first to the browser, then you will type the address of your website to be open in the address bar, and then that browser open that particular website on your screen. So how it happens, that browser sends a request to that particular website and get it confirmed, and that website server will serve that web page back to the browser. So web browser is a kind of client which works between you and your web server. So it is an application program which enables you to access the internet. Actually, browsers, next topic which I have mentioned is the types of browser. There are two types of browser: text only browser and graphical browser. So text only browser is something which was used earlier when the browser was just launched. So these were the browser where only text information was displayed. There were no graphical or multimedia information to be displayed on the web pages. So there was the example Lynx, Lynx. So this is the example for text only browser. And next come graphical browser. Graphical browser is which we are using nowadays, which can contain multimedia, which can contain audio, video, and flash 3D HD images also. So that is graphical browser. Like for example, Google Chrome is there, Mozilla Firefox is there, Apple Safari is there, and many more. So there are several browsers which we are using nowadays. Students, our next topic is browser settings. Browser settings are some kind of settings which is provided by the browser itself, which you can customize. Like you can change several privacy options, you can change several interface options, like how it going to look, how it is going to provide you an interface. So there are several settings which is provided by the browser itself, and I have given some steps here. It is quite a practical kind of thing. So I have given the steps. Like to access the setting menu in Google Chrome, follow the steps below. First of all, you need to open the Chrome. Then in the upper right corner you will find a hamburger sign. Then click that customize and control Google Chrome icon, and then select the setting entry in the menu. You will provide a menu, and here you will get different kinds of action like you and Chrome, like privacy, like interface, like font changing option. So you need to check those options one by one yourself. So this is the very simple again, but you need to check all the options once by your own. So let's move to the next topic, that is add-ons and plugins. Add-ons and plugins is something you students which is used to increase the performance of your browser. Like some of the requirements are there for the browser to increase the performance and your experience while surfing the internet. So these are the some tools which are used by the browser to increase its performance. First of all, you need to understand that add-ons and plugins both are different. They are not same. They are having different kind of work, or they are having a different kind of structure also. So add-ons and plugins, again, they are having a similar type of target to be done, which is to increase the performance of browser, but still they are different. So the first difference is plugin is a kind of complete program which you need to install in your system. On the other hand, add-on is not a program. Add-on is like a single function or single property which is to be installed, but not completely. Like you will understand it easily by the example. Some of the browsers in earlier stage, or we can say 5 to 6 years back, some of the browsers would not allow multimedia functions to run on that browser. Like if you need to see kind of videos on the browser which is uploaded by a particular website, so they will not gonna open until you have a flash player. So if you talk about CBSE website, or several websites were there, so if you want to see those animations which were going on the website, you need to download Adobe Flash first, and then only you can see those multimedia videos. So that Adobe Flash or that Flash player was the example of plugin, because you need to install that particular complete software to use those web multimedias, or to experience those multimedia effects on your browser. So Flash is one of the example of plugins. And next, if you talk about add-ons, add-ons is a particular functionality to a browser. It enhances the functionality of a browser. If you suppose to install add-ons on other work environments, say your operating system, you can't do it. like add-ons, it means add-ons are limited to a certain boundary. So add-ons is nothing like you have downloaded it and you can transfer it to some other place also. So it is which a particular function which is related to or which is attached to your browser only. For example, if we are talking about Google Sheets, if we are talking about Adobe Reader, so these are the properties which is used by the browser to open a particular PDF file or to open a particular Excel sheet. So these are the examples of plugins or add-ons, which is not a complete program, which you don't need to install completely or separately. So these are the examples of plugins. But in nowadays, if we talk about Chrome, then their name, the name of add-on is changed to extension. You will find the option as extension but not as add-on. So add-on and extension are same. Now the name is being converted to extension, so both are same. So this was add-ons and plugins. Now the last topic which we are going to cover is cookies. Cookies, I hope you already known about the cookies, which is something a kind of history which is prepared by your browser. So cookies, first of all we need to understand, cookies is a kind of file which is created by the web server and send it back to the browser to create a history or to make the searching of website next time easy for the browser as well as for the user. So this is something which is created to easy your work, to make it easier and to make it fast, to shorten the time of searching by the server. So there is nothing harmful in cookies, but still using cookies your data can be at risk, so it is preferred that you should delete the cookies. So first of all we need to understand what the cookies is. Like, the first topic is cookies are messages that web server pass to your web browser when you visit or internet site. Your browser stores each information in small file called cookie.txt. When you request another page from the server, your browser sends the cookies back to the server. These files typically contain information about your visit to the website, web page, as well as any information you have entered, such as your name and interest. I hope you have experienced this, like if you have searched something on a browser, like you have searched for a particular watch or you have particular mobile, then first time you have searched for the mobile and next time you have closed the system, and next time again when you open the browser, then you will get several ads related to that search which you have done earlier. So this is done by using cookies, because when you have searched first time for that particular mobile, and you have opened several websites, so those web server has created a file related to your IP address, containing your IP address, your interest, what you have searched, and send it back to the browser. So other websites have the access to those cookies, and they get to know that similar content about their website, and they started sending their messages to that particular IP address, means to your system. So that's why you are getting several ads related to that search. So it is all done because of sharing of cookies between several websites. That's why cookies can be harmful to you, because the data can be shared between different websites or different web servers. The next topic is cookies are most commonly used to track website activities. When you visit some sites, the server gives you a cookie that acts as your identification card. So whenever you visit a website, a particular identification card or a file has been prepared by the web server. Again, as I have told you, containing your IP address, your search interest and all, and that is saved in your browser. One more thing which we need to understand is the types of cookies. So here are the three types of cookies. Like, first is session, second is persistent, and third is third party. Session is the cookie which is prepared only for a particular period of time, which will enable for a particular session. Persistent is which is permanent, which will remain in the system for a long time. And third party is a kind of cookie which is commonly used as to track your search history. So it is known as tracking cookies also, because it will be shared between third party web server. Like, you have searched, you are the client, you are the first person, you have searched, you have gone to a particular web server, then that is the second person, but that file which is sent by that server to you will be shared with the third website, which is known as third person or the third party cookie, which will enable that third website to send its ads to you. So that's why, again, if we talk about its optimistic side, then it is beneficial for you, because it will provide you more options related to your search. And it is again beneficial for the website or web owner also, because it will create more chances for their business. But on the other side, it is again harmful also. It can be harmful, but it do not having any kind of virus in it, but it can be harmful because of its vulnerability, because it can be accessed by the third party, or it can be accessed by any hacker also, which can hack your personal details and can make your data at risk. So it is preferable that you should delete your cookies time by time, and if you are using a public computer, then you should always delete your cookies before getting out from that particular area. So this was the second unit. This was the unit introduction to computer network. I hope all the topics are clear. You will need to prepare all these topics very well, and try to watch this video as much time as you want and clear all your doubts. So thank you.